Now to the race for mayor in Chicago. The election just 4 weeks away, and there was a lively forum tonight. 9 candidates on the same stage laid out their visions for the future of the city. CBS 2's Marissa Perlman joins us now live in the newsroom. Marissa, this was wild and a bit heated, at least at times.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. And candidates certainly seem to be feeling the pressure tonight. Right now, polls in the past few weeks show various candidates leading this race and different candidates surging, seemingly depending on the week. Early voting is already underway, and that's why these debates are becoming more critical. Now, tonight's event was considered a forum, not a debate, and that means the candidates were not allowed to offer rebuttals. But in multiple heated moments tonight, they still found a way to exchange personal attacks, and some were repeatedly interrupted by loud protesters. Now, the jabs at each other started after Mayor Lori Lightfoot responded to a question about fighting crime.
This mayor was just asked a question about what she would do different, and she doubled down on her failed policies. That is the Lightfoot way. Double down on failed policies will give us a doubled murder rate. We have to do better.
I really wish that our mayor would just stop lying to the people and just be honest, right? We need to make sure that we have a mayor that is able to step up and say what we're doing is not working and we're going to try new things.
We gave this mayor $85 million. She hasn't spent $5 million yet in 2022. So we're moving that money into 2023. That's a shame.
It's easy to come up here and say sound bites, but what I didn't hear is any actual concrete solutions. And many of the things that we did hear were things that we're already doing. Alternative response. If you had voted for the budget, Sophia King, then you would have a right to stand here and say something about that.
Well, the personal attacks didn't stop there. In response to certain questions, candidates were asked to simply raise their hands. One of those questions was about whether candidates would keep Chicago Police Superintendent David Brown as the top brass on the force if they were elected. Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Willie Wilson were the only ones to raise their hand in support of the superintendent.
I think you need to fire the mayor. She's in charge.
There are 2 defunders of the police that are on this stage. Chewy Garcia, the original one, in 2011, he slashed the sheriff's budget, slashed adult probation, and created a crisis. Brandon Johnson wouldn't answer your defunding question. People want to make an issue about David Brown, but fundamentally what this is about is what are the strategies that we are using to keep people safe. The strategies that we're using are working.
That's totally false. Among many other things that she says, if people want to fact check, they should ask the chief judge if any of those funds were cut. They should also ask the sheriff of Cook County if at any point during my commissionership I sought to do that. It is one of the other lies that she keeps perpetuating. She's always creating smoke screens to try to cover up her own failures.
Now, a group of demonstrators chanted against Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson not once, but 3 times, who joked he must be doing something right if he isn't mayor yet, but already seeing protesters. The election is February 28th. Live in the newsroom, Marissa Perlman, CBS 2 News. Joe?
Things definitely heating up. Marissa, thank you.